Well, Cassidy and I are here. Camara's back at the shop. It's doing some funny things. So, yeah, we're gonna tear it down.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up? I'm Jake. It's the Camaro.
I'm Kyle. It's not my Camaro.
Drum roll. Yeah, so I bought this car last year in October. It's been a good car.
We
bought it as a roller from a buddy of Kyle's, actually.
Yep.
So he
Scott.
knew about it. Jesse Scott had it. I was looking around looking for a G body or an S10, and this came up. Kyle knew the guy, and was a great deal as a roller. Came with the built motor, built transmission, turbo 400.
It came with the Holley.
Came with Holley.
Yep.
Came with a bunch of stuff. Set up for a nitrous car. So we're thinking, we really just bought it and slapped it together. It came with nearly everything
Yeah, most of the stuff, and we had a bunch of stuff laying on the shelf.
Bunch of stuff on the shelf.
And kind of just put it together as
Bunch of borrowed parts.
Jake was like, I think it's a good idea to build a race car. We led him into a bad path, but
an expensive path.
But he was like, it's like a good idea to build a race car. I was like, we got most of the stuff laying around. We can just put one together kind of half-assed.
My pockets keep, they're just bottomless.
It's just
Everyone
bottomless.
knows it. No, not exactly. But yeah, we
But we did actually have
just a few months.
Yeah, just a few months in my old house in the garage. We threw it together, pulled it in, and threw it together with most of the stuff that we had laying around. We didn't really have to fork out too much.
Yeah, you
too
say
much
that.
to put it together.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could have been way worse.
It could have been worse.
It could have been way worse. But
it would have been way worse. I mean,
Yeah.
I got a great deal on the car. The roller, came with rear end, again, motor, trans, full interior car.
And we started out with really no intentions to really make it nice. It was just to get it ready and get it working and put it together and get something where Jake can go down the racetrack. And in the 3 months and all the parts we had laying around, and it ended up going together really nicely. So then we
ended up
started
making the car pretty fast.
Probably spending more than what we should have, but what we planned on. But it
definitely
did
more than I planned on.
The car should be very capable of being really fast. We haven't pushed it yet, but it's coming.
Yep. Yeah, we've really only run it on wastegate. Haven't even, we opened the bottle once at Midwest Drags, ran the 950 quarter mile pass, and 951 at 143, I think.
Yeah, 951, 140 something. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll put the video in here and the time slip. And it went 613 to the 8th on that pass.
613 to the 8th.
So it almost went a 5 with the transmission doing goofy stuff.
Transmission did some weird stuff.
We're not really
that's why it's on jack stands right now.
Yeah, we're not really sure what that did. We didn't even take a log of the pass, but we know that it needs the converter tightened up. So we're about to rip the converter out of it. And,
definitely needs that.
Take that and get that tightened up, and probably take a look inside the transmission and make sure all that stuff looks good while it's out. And then I think we've got a small leak on the head gasket since it got hot so many times at Midwest Drags, and there's water disappearing somewhere.
Yeah.
So time to rip that apart.
Yeah, we're gonna have a video on the full breakdown, maybe.
The fixing.
Full breakdown and
the full fixing.
So head gaskets and transmission, torque converter. But basically, so what's in it?
It's
iron 5.3 bored up to a 5.7, so iron LS1 type deal. Turbo. I don't know what size is this turbo.
It's a 76. It's an old actually Ultra Street. One of the little class turbos from Jose.
Jose, my dude.
Yeah. Forced inductions. So it's
76
for Ultra Street is what it is. It's got a big hot side on it, and whatever fancy wheel he does in there, but it makes a lot of power pretty easily.
It seems to.
Yeah, it does pretty good. That, and we built the turbo kit with some stock manifolds that we had laying around. China intercooler,
a bunch of Amazon parts,
a bunch of Amazon stuff. It's Amazon throttle body, nice Chinese
Amazon fuel rails,
some
Amazon catch can,
Bosch 210s that Blake had like extras laying on the shelf, like from a few bad
It truly
sets.
is a Frankenstein build that we threw together. And I think so. I bought it in October. I think we started it in December.
Yeah, it was quick. It still got the nitrous camshaft and everything in it. Nitrous camshaft. The converter was for nitrous. Everything that Jesse had bought for the nitrous setup is still in it. We didn't even open the motor other than we pulled the pan off to make sure it had a rod and piston in it.
Yep.
And that's it. I think the heads are worked by Ricky at some point. It's got some witchcraft going on in there that we have no idea anything about.
That's right.
It's just a mystery.
Yeah, there's a few interesting stories about that, about this car in general.
It's got a history. We used to race it on the street back when we had Austin's tan truck. We would race Jesse on the street
in the tan truck.
Yeah, in Mexico.
That's awesome.
And it's been to LS Fest a few times back with Jesse driving it. It sat for like what, 5-6 years, something like that, in a shop down here in Huntsville. And
yeah, I think a long time. It was a
long time, and then finally Jesse went and got it, brought it home, and then that's when he texted me wanting to sell it.
That was a few months before I even wanted it, before I was even looking.
Yeah, he texted me wanting to sell it, and then we started looking for you a car, and it caught back up into my head, was like, oh, let's do that.
It worked out great because I got a smoking deal on a good chassis.
Had most of the
good
stuff.
Car had a cage in it. It's a big thing.
It's good. Silly said it was a 6-point cage, so it only gets us 10 O's on drag and drives. But
yeah,
we'll go faster than that local.
I'll have to fix that eventually.
But turbo 400. So TCI FTI.
FTI.
It's FTI. FTI turbo 400, just off the shelf deal. It's got a quick performance 9-inch in it, which it had like a 430 rear gear, and we swapped that to a 360. Yeah, Auto Sport in Huntsville. They helped us out with that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, that's pretty much the rundown on the car. It's pretty simple.
Future plans for it: we're gonna try to go faster, open the bottle a few more times.
Yeah,
see what it'll do.
Get some seat time and start.
Hopefully, working out all the kinks. It's got quite a few kinks. Big thing, I mean,
is the overheating on the street.
Yep, overheating on the street. I gotta buy some fans.
Get that figured out. Build some ducting for keep air from going around the sides. We got one for top and bottom, but we need some side vent.
Yeah, and when we get the heads pulled off, I want to check the coolant passages. And
it's got some.
Sure it had some Dex cool in it.
Goop in it. It had some goop in the radiator.
Some goop in there.
So it's probably got some goop in there still. So that'll probably help a lot.
Yeah, the big thing, we slung a belt a lot.
Quite a few times.
It's gotten hot. So
we finally found the issue with that. This idler pulley was spaced back too far, and it's pulling the belt off of it. So we got that straightened out.
Yeah, so it's doing some weird things. Not 100% sure why. Shifter, the main thing that's wigging me out. It's acting kind of funny from second to third. It shifts just fine, but last time we were on the drag strip on the quarter mile, we put a little boost to it and we hooked up the shifter, the air shifter, and we didn't have a vent on it, so it had nowhere to purge after it shifted to second, and I think it just slammed straight into third, and it acted like it slipped through the converter. Kind of acted like it was just slipping the whole way, hitting up at redline. And the other day I put it on the street, got on the interstate, and getting on, gave it a pull from second, and it hit redline, shifted to third, and it didn't drop RPM. Maybe 500 RPM it dropped to, and just felt like, it was accelerating, just felt like it was slipping, but never hit limiter. So hopefully it's just, we got to tighten up the torque converter. So we're gonna pull the torque converter out, send that off to get tightened up and inspected, maybe built, and then we'll pull the transmission and go ahead and send that to Blake over at Avid Speed, and he'll just inspect it, make sure nothing's crazy with it. Other than that, we're losing water. So back at Midwest Drags, when we broke down on the interstates, ended up at Fat House. Billy over there at Fat House welded up my my radiator because we wore a hole in it in the core support. I don't know if we got really good footage of it, but that's it right there. We put that rubber hose on there. You can almost see the weld, and we welded it up on both sides. It was rubbing. Nah, you can't really see there, but it was rubbing in there. We put some rubber hose in there to help protect it, but wore a hole in there. When we took it out, we noticed the sides of the radiator were a little swollen, a little ballooned out. So I don't know if you can really see that. Yeah. So a little concerned about the head gaskets. I don't know. We'll see. We didn't run much boost through it. I think the last pass at Midwest Drags, we ran the 950 quarter mile pass. We're gonna go ahead and pull the heads and replace the head gaskets just in case. Oh yeah, the big thing is sitting in our driveway, it just lost water. We have no clue where the water was going. So just sitting in the driveway for a week maybe. And I started up, get about halfway through the neighborhood, and it got hot. So pulled it back to the house and put water in it. Probably put 2.5 gallons of water in it. Oh no, two gallons of water in it. So that's a lot for it just to be sitting. Just, probably, I don't know, not where it's supposed to be. So I don't know. So we're gonna pull the transmission out, pull the heads off. It's gonna be fun.
I think it's going to be good once we check the trans, get the converter tightened up, head gaskets fixed. It'll be good. We can take it to some of the local stuff and start running it in True Street. Mm-hmm. Some True Street classes, some any of the other classes they'll let you in.
Yeah.
Really anything.
Yeah,
at Jake's,
I'll do whatever.
Lassiter Mountain, Huntsville, if Huntsville has anything for radial tire guys. We'll play with that. Get Jake some seat time. See if we can go 850s at Drag and Drive with it. I guess that would be the goal, would be 850s with it, because
yeah.
at drag and drives we don't want to go any faster than that because we don't want to put a driver containment
yeah, no,
cage and stuff in
doing that.
Keep it
street.
Yeah,
it's a street car.
Yeah, we like street cars.
Yeah,
if it ever gets to where it's not a street car anymore, it's not cool.
Car. Yeah, it has a radiator for a reason.
Yeah. No
doesn't
cars
work all that great.
No cars with no radiators. It has one. It doesn't work all that great, but it has one.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna rip it apart.
Yep. This is Jake in my red Camaro. Signing off.